In this video, we're going to cover the 10 counties in California where prices are rising the fastest, including one that jumped an incredible 12.42% in the last year alone. So we're going to dig right into some information together. We are looking at a rolling 3-month period just to help smooth out some anomalies. Taking a look at the median sale price as reported both by Redfin with our team here at the California Housing Collective. There are 58 California counties. Of those 58, 26 almost have declining value over the last 1 year period. But we still have over half, 32, at an increase in values. We're going to go over the statewide numbers at the very end. This video, you just want to focus on the top 10 that grew the fastest. Starting off with the largest county on this list, which would be Santa Barbara, jumped 3.99%. What is that? $40,000 in the course of 1 year. And this is pretty remarkable. You have strong growth all the way across the board. So you have growth in median sale price, inventory, the available homes increase as well, and the amount of homes sold. This is a realtor's dream where there's more activity, there's more inventory, and prices are going up. This is also a dream situation for contractors, for title reps, anybody else associated with California housing industry. This is not ideal for people who are looking to buy. So depending on your perspective and where you fit within the California housing industry, you look at this graph and you're like, oh my gosh, everything's up across the board. That's wonderful. This is a dream. And there's others of us who looked at it and were like, oh no, oh no, this is getting even worse. But Santa Barbara, the largest county on this list, comes in at number 10. Is also the most expensive of the 10 counties on this list. Next up, we want to go to Little Siskiyou. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. Up in Superior, California, right by the Oregon border. Very strong growth at 4.5%. Also saw inventory grow almost 3%, and the homes sold up 3% as well. It's much smaller than the Santa Barbara market, both in population and the amount of homes that are available for inventory and moving. But again, if you're in that California housing industry, you probably love it. If you're looking to move there, probably not so excited. But that is Siskiyou. So next up on the list is Madera in northern San Joaquin Valley, which it's a good sized market, but stagnant inventory, almost no additional homes sold over that period. But the homes sold dropped considerably. Now, this usually means one of two different things is going on. So either you have your average prices across the board are moving higher, which is what's pushing the median sale price up, or only the top of the market is moving, which is why you see demand drop, but prices still move up. So typically in a supply demand market like real estate, which I will make that argument 1,000 times that we are a supply demand market here in housing, if your demand drops, your pricing drops as a result as well. This is one of those interesting situations where you have your demand dropping, but pricing still moving higher with higher supply as well. So an interesting market in Madera. If anybody wants to throw some comments in the comment section below, love to hear from anybody who's actually in the area working there. Next up on our list is Trinity, up in the North Coast region of California. So strong growth, a big spike for the region in available homes. And then you look at the amount of homes sold. This is the smallest market on our list, the fewest homes sold, and it's also the cheapest. Most people would be shocked to know that you could buy a home in a thriving market for $263,000. But if you're up in Trinity in the North Coast area, those homes are available, even though the market is going low. Next up is number 6, YOLO, which again has strong growth, showing inventory growth, and a little bit of growth in the homes sold. This one jumped 36 grand in 1 year. And if you've never heard of it, you should check it out because, YOLO. Next up is Plumas. This is another fascinating one. So they have big jumps everywhere. It's the largest combined increases on this list by percentage. I know very little about Plumas. So I've lived in California my entire life, and I don't know much about this market. I would love to hear from somebody who is in or services the area or is looking in the area to understand it better, because you have very strong 7% growth year over year, which is very strong, and inventory growth, and then a pretty big spike for the region, at least in terms of homes sold. So again, if you are a housing industry professional in the area, it's all great news. If you're looking to buy, rent in the area, not so much. Now we've officially entered our top 5. And the next one we're going to look at is Amador. This is also in the northern San Joaquin Valley. You have strong price growth at 7.18%, 9% growth in available homes or the active inventory over the month, and then a pretty big drop in the number of homes sold. So if inventory keeps going up and demand keeps going down, I would expect this trend to reverse to where you'd start to see the median price drop as a result. Again, as supply continues to go up and demand continues to go down, eventually you reach a new equilibrium point where that'll pull pricing down naturally. This is evidence that that process could take a while. More evidence of that process taking a while is number three, which is Imperial. 8% price growth in 1 year is pretty phenomenal. 16% growth in inventory is big. And that 33.5% drop in homes sold is massive. So again, you cannot have more and more available homes, fewer and fewer sales, and keep prices high. So this is one where Imperial County is going to have to correct at some point. But Imperial County is also the only county in Southern California, or at least south of Santa Barbara, on this list. So kind of fun. I've only been in Imperial County a few times. There's really good Airbnbs and things out there. So if you're ever down here in California, there's some stuff to check out down there. Imperial is another little bit of an outlier that I would watch over the next few months. Now we get literally as far away as possible from Imperial County in California, where you're going from the southwest of the state or the southeast of the state, to the northwest, Del Norte. Strong price growth of 8.75%. Inventory is basically stagnant, and home sold, it looks like strong growth, but it's really just 2 more sales per month. But there is something interesting to consider, which I hear rumors about, and I'd love to get confirmation or somebody arguing the case against this in the comments. It could be a situation where you have Californians moving north, or what I've been hearing more so is Oregonians moving south into California. I don't want to get into the reasons as to why, but Siskiyou next door, which is also right on that border, came in at number 9 on this list with people moving in and prices going up as a result. And then Del Norte here at number 2. Now we want to get into the most interesting one, I think, on this list, which is Mariposa coming in at number 1. This is the only county on the list that had double-digit price growth over the year. Yes, there is a county that is still growing at a almost 12.5% clip in this market currently. It is right in northern San Joaquin Valley. And then this is typically what you are going to see with strong price growth is inventory declining. If you notice the entire remainder of this list, there wasn't a single other county where inventory was declining. Only 12 out of the 58 counties in California where inventory is declining as of this 3-month period ending in November of last year. The inventory is declining. So naturally prices should increase, but that is the outlier. Like the rule is sort of the outlier, at least in this list. But that is probably a big reason why you have the strongest growth in Mariposa County, coming in at 12.42%. And again, the home sold looks negative, but it's pretty stagnant there. So what this looks like on a statewide level, when you average out the numbers here, we come in at 0.9% growth in median sale price for the entire state. That number has been inching higher a little bit recently, went negative for a little bit in the summer months, and was significantly higher in the 6-month period prior to that. So if you're seeing a trend, you had very strong price acceleration the first 6 months of this period, then it actually went negative, and now it's starting to climb back up. If you look at the available homes, this should tell a lot of that story. You had a massive increase year over year in the amount of available inventory. So 20 to 30, 31% inventory growth over that period typically puts a decelerator on price growth and will eventually cause price declines. That's what we saw happen in the first 6 to 9 months of this year. Now, if you look at the inventory growth, it has slowed considerably. People are not listing homes. If you look at the homes sold, we had better activity in the first 6 months of this period, and then it went negative for a little bit in the middle period, and now it's starting to pick back up again. So it's not like homes are moving more quickly, which is causing any shifts in the market. What we're typically seeing is an inventory here. I made the argument maybe 150 times over the past year that we do not have a lack of homes in California. We have a lack of available homes in California, which is a different problem, which would require a different solution in order to address. So we're seeing a moderate increase in the amount of available homes currently, which is resulting in slower price. In a typical real estate market, you're going to see appreciation of 3 to 5% per year. In the past 12 months, 16 counties out of 58 hit that mark. 42% had an appreciation, or sorry, 42 counties had an appreciation rate lower than that. So California isn't in a massive decline, as some other YouTubers would state. We are not booming. We are in a pretty moderate, almost balanced market currently. The only thing that shifts this higher to where you see median price growth start to like really jump back up considerably is really an additional cap on available inventory. If that stays low, I would expect demand to increase with the expected decline in mortgage rates upcoming. If you want to see price growth fall, we would need to see available inventory jump considerably. Like some people have recommended that for a more healthy, balanced market in California, we need to see prices fall like 30%, which sounds big, but that would put us back on pace with a more 3 to 5% appreciation over the past 10 years. But for prices to fall 30%, you need available inventory to jump 50, maybe 70%, somewhere in that range. There are things that the government can put in place that would make that happen as a shock to the system to help try to force some balance into the system. I don't see that coming up though. And unless the government or some other domino were to fall to force inventory levels that much higher, I don't see that happening. So that is the update right now for where prices are still rising in California. If you have questions, if you have comments, if you have feedback, because you know those works better than I do, please let us know. I'd love to respond to them. I'd love to have other people on here. So I'm not just talking to a webcam by myself. Thank you so much for watching. I love putting this data together. I love sharing it with other Californians. So like and subscribe or just leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you guys. So thanks. See you next time.